All right, guys. So some of you guys who don't know, when I do Zooms, I like to see people's faces. I don't like looking at black screens. It's very off-putting. And if I have to say it more than once, because this is for free, I will just take you off of it because you're not listening. I don't like black screens. I don't like looking at black screens. And I do prefer people be on mute. Unless, of course, we say you can ask a question, then you politely raise your little hand with the little icon, or you can text your question and we'd be more than happy to answer it that way. But I like stuff decently and in order. And if I can't have it that way, you just won't be a part of this. Because again, it is for free. So again, if you have a black screen, take yourself off. If you're not prepared for it, get off. But I don't like looking at black screens. I like looking at people's faces. I think when you're on a black screen and something like that, that's rude.
I think it's on. See. Okay. It should be done. Okay, now I can see. I can see shit.
All right, I thought we would try something different today because that I had said I wanted to do a video with her and she and I, but she's big on TikTok and I'm big on YouTube. And I don't fucking know how to work this shit. Some of y'all might know how to work it. I'm sure some of y'all kids and she know how to work it, but I don't know how to work it. So I thought that this would be very interesting if we do like an interactive type of thing where you are actually on like a live, so to speak, with her, but it's recorded. And of course it will be like on my YouTube channel and her TikTok channel as well. But it's make it interactive where you guys can actually, I don't know, ask live questions and stuff like that of me and her. I know a lot of my people are new to her, and I know a lot of her people are new to me, you know. And then I like the fact that she's 25. So she has a younger, and y'all know how I feel about 24 and older. They be reckless as fuck. But she's probably one of the most mature people I've met in a very long time, because most times they make my nerves bad.
Anyway, I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, y'all know I don't fuck nobody, and I like her a lot. And if you guys can mute yourselves so that we don't hear background noises and stuff like that, I appreciate it a great deal. So this is something different for the both of us. Well, maybe not for her, but for me to do it openly, because most of my classes and the stuff that I teach is private.
Yeah. I think I'm used to people randomly jumping on, but it means
I'm not. I like control. I told you that. I like stuff to be controlled and in order.
Yes.
Just wild bitches.
Okay. So you want to start it off?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Well, go ahead. I've already spoke enough.
Okay. So we're talking about imagery today, the power of imagery, how it can be used with creation and destruction. So we're making it Q&A style. Y'all can ask questions if y'all got questions about imagery. There's a certain way you want to take the topic. Go ahead. I think we use the chat box here because we have y'all on mute. That's how we do it in my group. I don't know if that's how y'all do it here.
Well, they can raise a hand and ask a question, you know.
Or the hand raising function.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to start up with the question about imagery.
Kirsty, I love your swing, dog.
Say it again.
I said, I love Kirsty Perez. She's sitting in some type of swing or something. I'm like, oh, I love it. Okay, so she asked me a question earlier. I kind of asked her what questions did she have for me. And she asked me a very interesting question about like imagery and how I use it to manifest or to create things. And believe it or not, I always have fucking answers for everything. And I really didn't have an answer for that because I utilize everything is a tool to me. The TV, the radio, my thoughts, everything is a tool to me, not necessarily like a candle or like a fire, because in hoodoo, yeah, we burn things, we burn candles, but fire isn't the ultimate thing in hoodoo. It's a part of it, but it's not the ultimate. So, and then I thought like good and bad. I work a lot out of dark energy. Like I actually heal through dark energy. Not chaotic, but I through the darkness. I heal out of it. I manifest out of it. I work in it because I was telling Miss Jasmine before, you know, our ancestors come from dark energy. We think that our ancestors are like this light and love, and they was just saving the world, and that's what they hear. They're here to elevate us, but they're not here necessarily as this beacon of light and hope like that. Because if you think about it, we stimulate from 12 generations of the past, right? So I did this mathematical, ancestry mathematical, like 4,094 is the number. And if we come out of 4,094, do you think all those 4,094 people were happy? Do you think they had this great life? Hell no, they didn't.
Nope.
Hell no. 400 years plus. 400 years plus. Hi, darlings.
Hey.
All right, so can you guys go ahead and put yourselves on mute for me, please? So imagery. What do you guys manifest? How are you able to use images? Because I know for me, I have a hard time doing that. I was telling Jasmine, if I think about a beach in the sand, just say I'm trying to use an image of that, then I'll start thinking about such a dick or something real, throw it off or crazy. And I might be like right there with it. I got the beach, I'm on the sand, the water is beautiful. And then next thing you know, this dick is like boom. And I'm just, you know, so maybe imagery for me, maybe I have to see it. So if it's a house, maybe, and I'm trying to imagine a house, maybe I need to look at a house. I need to find a house, something that I like. Or if it's a car, maybe I need to find a car, something that I like. Or maybe if it's even a person, maybe you got to piece your person. Meaning take a bunch of magazines and put, I want his legs like this, his arms like this, maybe that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I necessarily, I don't know if I can necessarily do that.
I think I use a lot of Pinterest. So I get on there and I look for different images. I tend to base them off aesthetic because it's the easiest way to find what you're actually looking for. Because, you know, you get on Pinterest and you type in spiritual, there's going to be a bunch of quotes that pop up. But if you're looking for a spiritual aesthetic, that's what you would go for. Right now, I've been looking at like planet-friendly mansions instead of building a mansion regular style with regular architecture, building it to resemble the earth and things like that. So then I'll get on Pinterest, and I don't just use the actual image, because having ADHD, I need constant stimulation. I need my mind to stay focused. Otherwise it does either entertain the impulsive thoughts or it gets thrown off course. So I like to use music. So not like binaural beats and shit like that. I use those every now and then, but I tend to use like music that I actually like listening to. Because if it's a house, I don't want to just envision myself buying this house, you know, doing the whole signing, closing, and now I have this house in my dreams. I want to see myself doing regular shit. Maybe we buy the house and you have to do a whole bunch of stuff. I think when you buy a house, like getting it checked out and all that shit, doing all of that, and somebody being like, ooh, that window's not allowed to be there. So not envisioning necessarily like big problems, but little things like, oh, I might even envision myself doing laundry. Probably not, because I want to have somebody that does the laundry for me, because I hate hanging up my own clothes. So I might switch the thoughts.
Doing laundry.
Yeah, I can't stand it. Like, I like the actual washing of the clothes, but having to remember to hang them bitches up, yeah, no, that's not my strong suit. So having that done. So maybe I do go do my own laundry, but probably not if somebody's going to come in the house and hang it up for me. So maybe I come into my new closet and it's like, oh shit, she organized everything. So now I have to relearn my closet. That's not a bad thing. It's just something outside of what I'm used to. When I teach my clients, I like to remind people to incorporate some level of realism into the shit that you're using for imagery, because a lot of us are really good about fantasizing, but not actually adding portions of realism to get back into the timeline you're trying to get into. Like if you're trying to manifest a partner. So let's say you have like a coffee shop or a tea shop near you. You're not just going to envision running into somebody and y'all falling in love, because that's like a movie, like Love at First Sight. That's cute. But let's be a little bit more realistic. Maybe y'all accidentally run into each other and one of y'all spills your drink a little bit. Oh, my bad. Now y'all picking up napkins, cleaning up each other, something realistic, something that might actually happen. The bartista interrupting, here's your straw, because you forgot your straw because you're too busy staring at somebody's face. Shit like that. So how do you guys do your imagery? Like, what are your strong suits when it comes to imagery? What do you think are your weak spots? These ankle bracelets.
Come on, damn. Life is a song.
Hello. So I was just listening, and I feel like for me, I use a combination of imagery as well as the sensation. So like invoking the feeling of how I want to feel when that moment happens. So because for me, I can be like the one that will over fantasize something, you know, like, oh, I want for it to be like a movie. So like, no, I had to get into how will I feel like, am I going to be happy when this happens? Am I going to be sad when this happens? Like just getting to the real feeling of what's happening. But I noticed I really don't use a lot of imagery. I use more so the sensation that I want to happen and the vibe and the energy that I want to be in the room present.
I like that. Yeah. I don't even think about that. Y'all be one that what's her name? What is her name? You don't know my name. What's that shit? She going to the coffee shop and pick up the card.
Alicia Keys.
Y'all be on that
Alicia
shit
Keys.
like that. When in actuality, how you really met that nigga was that y'all was at a club or something, and the nigga stepped on your fucking foot or something crazy like that. Yep. And then you were like, God damn, nigga. And then he turned around and he was like, damn, bitch. And you was like, oh. Yeah. And then y'all connected, and he, you know, he just called you a bitch. And you like, girl, he is fine. And
that's what I need. That's honestly what I need, honestly, because I know me, like I have a smart mouth. So I know like if you approach me, I need you to be like a real man, because I'm gonna have an attitude if you approach me the wrong way. So I want that person who's gonna be like really strong. You don't want no
man saying, hey, how you doing? You are very nice looking. You don't want nobody coming to you like that. You want nobody to be like, oh, move the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
No, not giving all of that. Not giving all of that, but it's like for me, it's more so like I get approached a lot of times, and half the time when these men approach me, they're not really talking about anything. And so like I know sometimes it's like a wall that's up right away. So I do know like I need a man that's more so aggressive and not so passive. So that way he can be like, hey, what's up? Like, you're really cute. I'm trying to get to know you. Oh, okay. Hey, what's up? want to go grab a drink, like I will address my position. But a lot of times these men are passive, and it's like, oh, you're cute. Oh, oh, you mean, oh, like, and I can't do the O's. I need you to be clear and direct on what you want. So I do know, like, I like a little bit of aggression.
Wait a minute, how does it work when you meet people online? Because a lot of people are online dating. So how can you do that with when you like swipe? What is it? Swipe? It's a girl on TikTok, and all she do is swipe the different.
Yep.
I'll fucking be dying. She goes, he's 56, blah, 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 blah. Like, how would that work?
I mean, for me, only because I've done the online dating, I do the online dating carefully now, because now it's not as easy for me to just get on there. Like, I tend to go to, what do you call that? It's her app. That's what it is. And so, like, a lot of people, it's for like, it's LGBTQ based, because I've noticed getting on apps like Bumble, I can't deal with regular cis hetero men because they have no idea how to have like was just stated, they don't know how to hold conversation. So I have swiped right and thought about the way that they might even inbox me, since that's as far as it's gonna go. Like, for starters, what type of response? Oh, they look like they might say something intelligent more than just a hi. Because if you hit me with a hi, I'm blocking, I'm not responding to anything like that. But if you have something like you start off with a quote, or you start off with a joke or something to that effect, entertain me, like stimulate my brain first. Otherwise, it's a block. I
think you'd be weird if that happened to me. He better not give me no sonnet. I'm like, who the fuck?
Not a sonnet, but like some of these dating apps, they'll be like, they have questions. So the questionnaire would be like, tell me your favorite quote. So then, they're asking for quotes. Because I also think you can learn somebody like that, knowing like, what's your favorite quote off that? If they quote a movie, then you get to know a little bit about them. Oh, this is their favorite type of movie, or this is, maybe they're a movie junkie, or if they quote something from a book, oh, you read books. Okay, this is a different route, because the amount of people that don't read books nowadays, it'd be interesting for somebody to quote from a book. So I like to see different shit like that. Again, if they say, hey, it's not worth the response, in my opinion, but envisioning imagery with
Can you guys show your faces? If you don't mind, I don't like looking at black screens and names.
Yeah, that fixed me.
I don't like that.
I see we have a hand up. I just can't read.
Oh, go ahead. What is this? E?
E? Yes. Oh, okay. I thought that was the letter E.
Hi Duchess. Hi Jasmine. I just see kidding. But I wanted to say that the way I do it, and I've been doing it since I was a kid, and this is like how my life has been going. I used to draw out what I wanted, and like clearly as a kid I wasn't drawing good, but I would just draw like, oh, I want a boy, these earrings, or how I want my house to be, or how I want my room. So then whenever I draw or I add things to it. So like I'll draw the scenery. So I'll say like blue car, black shirt, blue pants, red shoes, and then I'll put like yellow earrings. So I know it's specific. So then when I'm going throughout my day or my life, I'll see a guy, or I'm just saying guy for right now, but I'll see a guy and I'll be like, oh, yellow earrings, black shirt, blue jeans. And then I'll see a blue car out the door. Then I know like, oh, this is my time. This is the time that I'm supposed to be on. But then sometimes I've noticed it happens like again, like it'll keep happening. And then I'll end up with the same situation twice or times. And then
I mean, you ain't learned your lesson.
Think so?
Yeah, when you tentatively repeat different things and it's the same situation, might be different actors in it, but it's the same situation. That means you haven't learned your lesson. So it's something in it that you keep repeating, you haven't learned.
But Duchess, I'll be like in my mode of trying to get what I want. And I know what I want and where I'm gonna go, but I see the same thing at the same time. I just don't know which one to pick.
Well, why don't you, okay, so that I understand what you're saying. So if you're seeing the same thing, it keeps showing up, but it gives you two options, and just say, you got this or that, but you've seen both because you wrote both of them down.
Mm-hmm.
Are you constantly choosing that thing over there, or are you choosing the other thing?
I'm choosing both. I'm just like trying to see which one's gonna work out. And then usually when it doesn't, that's just where I like back off and I rewrite what I'm trying to do. So
then if you're going to do that, make sure that you make sure that your focus is right.
Okay.
I said that earlier too, because sometimes, and that goes back to what Jasmine said, being realistic in your train of thought.
Mm-hmm.
I always tentatively think, how important is it? Number one, what am I wanting it for? Are the results going to be healthy for me? Because I can imagine and see a lot of shit, but is it going to be healthy for me? You know what I'm saying? I don't want a whole bunch of lessons.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep repeating a whole bunch of shit. I don't want a whole bunch of lessons. I want it, whatever the results may be, I want the result to be healthy. Because I've done a lot of unhealthy shit and I'm tired of it. I'm 43 years old. Look, I am so glad I can say that. Well, I like saying it, baby. I'm 43 years old. But seriously though, what I always want a healthy result. So you have to ask yourself, is this going to be a healthy result for me? And that kind of play into it too.
Yeah, and I think you should do that before you keep drawing it and writing it down, because you said you keep doing that. That's not that's the problem. You're manifesting. You're still in the process of trying to get what you want. When you're manifesting, that's supposed to be like the one time you exert your energy. Then you say, I've manifested. I manifested is it's done. I'm waiting on it to show up. I've let it go. Because I noticed when I first started, like I would have ideas or things that I wanted. I would keep writing them down in my notebook. I would keep saying what I wanted. I'd keep saying it. Well, but you keep acting like you don't have it yet, so you don't. So it's the energy of claiming it, like it's mine. I'm very good.
And that's that Christian mentality too. That praying until something happens.
You better say that.
That is not a conjuring or whatever you want to call yourself, but that is Christian mentality. Mm-hmm. Christian mentality is that you keep praying until something, because that's the program. That's what I was saying earlier, the program. You have to get out of the program. That's why I said earlier, this is the Christian side, right? This is the program side. This is the side that most of us are raised in. This has been our foundation. This is the metaphysical side, the occult side. That's that other side. See, you can't function in both of them, but you want to be all the way on this side, but you're still functioning out of this. You still function out of programming, because that's what it is.
Well,
that's
I'm trying, like, the way that I feel like when I'm writing it out and I'm getting what I want, the reason I get confused is because maybe I'm not being specific. So then I go back to the drawing board and I'm like, let me be more specific. I get specifics, and then it's like I'm getting multiple options, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been picking some of the wrong options and going the wrong ways. Back on track when I'm like, as I'm learning, I'm getting more specific, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting more specific. I'm getting what I want. Everything is going smooth. But how can I keep making it better? Like you said, I want to keep praying on it, like the Christians do. But
do you know what I always say? You know how like people, they want to be rich, or they want to be wealthy, and so that's their goal. I want to be wealthy. I want to be rich. Do you know what mine is? What? I just want growth. So it doesn't matter, because abundance doesn't necessarily mean money, because there's a lot of people with a lot of money that are not happy. I want growth, and I want growth in a way that it keeps up with me. Not I'm trying to keep up with it, because if I'm trying to keep up with it, I might not ever be able to do it. But I just want growth. I want growth in my business. I want growth in myself. I want growth in my platform, what I'm doing. I want growth. So I don't necessarily, maybe kind of reword it. Yeah. And then whatever it is, stick to that one thing until you complete that one thing, then move on to the next. But a lot of times we got a big old list of shit that we want to do. So we putting a lot of energy into all these things instead of focusing on one and completing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then you kind of go on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Duchess, I just want to say I've been following you since I was 12 years old. I'm 24, or probably like.
Thank you for making me feel old. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for making me feel my age now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I love that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ladies.
You're welcome.
Come on, Marcy Red. Put your hand up.
Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Duchess. How are you? I'm more of a, I can't even say a visual. It's more like I'm daydreaming. Like if I'm driving to work or, you know, like just daydreaming, and it's already happening. It's already happened in my book. And I also, for some reason, and I don't know why, maybe you guys can explain it, you know, like if I'm writing something, because, you know, I'm busy creating classes for my students or whatever, I'm drawing triangles, and they're linked to one another, and also boxes. I don't know why I do it.
You might be downloading. That's how you creatively download. I draw circles within circles.
I draw a lot of triangles, and I write triangles, or not write them, but with crystals, I sit in vortexes a lot because you can always create your own vortex. And I just like the way triangles feel, because everybody, I think they said, picks their own sacred geometry. So does your mind normally work in threes? Do you tend to think of things in threes? Triangles have 3 points. So it's probably a pattern that you're setting when you use a triangle. It's the number or the shape that even creates patterns. Because when you look at a triangle, you can take 2 triangles, stick them together, they'll create a square. It's the thing that creates patterns. So maybe that's what it is for you.
Well, you know, like when I was a kid, I remember, you know, like, because I would see spirits, you know, like go around me, and I would get scared to death because I never told anyone. I thought I was going crazy, and that would actually help me to like focus and be like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's going on, but you know, like, and I just would go into my own world, and I would just manifest.
I mean, now you can't see me no more.
Again, I think it has to do with download. That's what I think, because sometimes when I'm on a phone, I draw circles. Sometimes they big wide ass circles, sometimes they little bitty circles, and they real skinny. It just it's just downloading. Everybody downloads different. Like some people download in their dreams. That's why I always say, get you a notebook and a pen and kind of have it next to you when you wake up so you can write it down. Sometimes I download when I'm completely naked, sitting in my fucking backyard on my patio furniture. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just drinking some coffee, and I'm sitting there, and I have my notebook and a pen. And I didn't have anything on my fucking mind, and then it just hits me, and I'm drawing circles and I'm writing shit. So it happens differently like that for everybody. Any other questions? Don't necessarily have to be about imagery, because a lot of times I was telling her I have a void mind. I don't have anything on my mind.
Yeah.
I don't have I'm not looking at anything. It's just void. It's just a clean slate. I think that's why I can like let people go. And I have the spirit of just like cutting, because I don't have nothing on my mind like that. I don't have anything that binds me or ties me to people or to things. I think people be peopling and, you know, Gemini and Capricorning and whatever the fuck they be doing. And I give people permission to be themselves. And I also in turn give myself permission not to think about anything. So when I choose and decide to think about something, I can put out my energy into it. I think I'm just probably a control freak. I don't fucking know. I guess that's the narcissistic part of me.
I like that.
You like me saying I'm narcissistic?
Oh, not that. I just mean, I would like to be able to keep my mind clean slated. That way it would be easier, because not having something constantly on your mind, like I feel like the biggest reason we can't let people go is one situation that makes us feel like, oh, this is why I should stay. It's never really, we say, oh, it's a whole bunch of things. It's really one big thing that changed the trajectory of how you see them, how you feel about them. And that's what you cling to when you're supposed to be wiping the slate. So no, I like that.
Yeah, I see. For me, again, it comes with age. That's why I like her, because she like my baby. She like my baby. For me, age comes with wisdom. And so at 43, I realized I held on to a lot of fucked up ass people, and I stayed in a lot of fucked up ass situations because they did one good thing. Wasn't a whole bunch of shit, but I was grateful for that one thing that they did. And maybe it changed my life drastically. Maybe it changed it small, but because we so used to people not being genuine and not being kind to us and not giving us their heart. So that one time that person did that, which could negate every fucking bad thing they've ever done. They could be a fucked up ass individual, but because they did that one thing that got us at that time where we needed it. See, we think that everybody's supposed to be in our life forever. No, some people are just there for a particular reason. Some people are there for a particular season in your life. Some people are there for a lifetime, but y'all got to stop giving these seasonal people lifetime benefits and titles. I don't do that. That's why I can let it go. Maybe at that time I needed you for business advice and you really helped my business out. But as time went on and maybe I started doing better than you, now it's fuck my business. Because people want you to do good. Yeah, people want you to do good, but they don't want you to do better than them. I had a lady tell me, why are you still reading and stuff? You should stop doing it and let other people, so other people can make some money. Bitch, it's billions of fucking people in this fucking world. And somebody can get a reading from you, they can get a reading from me, because some people are spiritual junkies. Some people need validation from 13 different people for them to tell them the one thing that 4 or 5 people done already told them. Sit the fuck down. Haven't you made enough money? No, bitch, I have not. I have other goals and dreams and aspirations that I want to do, ho.
Yep.
And your money don't make me. So you can have your little shit back if that's what you want. Because people love to pocket watch and judge. I swear to God, help me. That's why I have to be able to cleanse my mind there, because I can't hold on to that. I'm a Taurus. You know we don't let nothing go. You know we will hold on to shit to death, and even in our death, we still gonna be mad about this shit. So in order for me not to be that way and to be the evolved person that I want to be, I can literally say, okay. And when I say okay, I actually really mean it's okay, because if it ain't, it will be. Whereas when I was younger, that young Taurus, that young bull, I wanted to knock every fucking thing over. And you too, bitch, if you standing in the way of it, and I'm gonna hold on to the fact that you was standing there when I was knocking shit over, and you know I was knocking shit over, and bitch, you know, I don't do that no more. So that's why I can clear my mind. And that really helped me to manifest that growth I wanted too. In every aspect, because I could just let shit go. When I say I'm not mad about it, I'm really not fucking mad about it. Like, I done blinked 2 or 3 times. Why are you still on it? Why are you still focused on that, sis? Let that shit go. Well, you had said, well, didn't you say what you wanted to say? Well, yeah. Well, aren't you repeating yourself now? Well, yeah. Why the fuck are you doing that? I heard you the first fucking time. All right. Oh, I know what you want to hear. You right. So you got it. You right. Yeah. You right. Now can we move on now? Like, that's how I am. Which seems to piss people off more than to make them happy. Maybe y'all want to be emotional, not me. Go ahead. What is that, Natalie?
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Duchess and Jasmine. Thank you for doing this. I've been following you, Duchess, for a while. And I've been seeing you on TikTok a lot, and I really enjoy seeing both of you. You uplift and I learn a lot from you. So I wanted to ask, I have a hard time doing imagery and sticking to it, because I have a hard time focusing, because I'm the one that need to stick to what I got to stick to and get it done, and I don't do it. So I'm just trying to figure out how to pinpoint how to, keep it there and just kind of the imagery and so I can get it done. It's like ideas or something.
You sex.
Huh?
You sex.
You sex? Okay. Well.
What you have to say, Jasmine? You sex.
Okay. Hey.
Don't you focus to get your nut?
Yep. I was gonna say sex,
You
because that's the only way I sometimes can reprogram myself.
Okay.
But other than that, stop trying to do it longer. Because like when we go to do certain things, sometimes we try and plan out, oh, I'm gonna take 30 minutes to meditate. Why are you using so much time? That's a lot of time. Like a lot of people, I think, have this idea that they can monk it out. That's what I call it. Monks live in monasteries. There's not a lot going on at a monastery. So them having clear minds, them being able to do meditation and stay in meditation for hours, all of us don't have that because we have so much going on within the brain. And if you have ADHD like me, everything is sped up. So it's like all these thoughts already times 10. And now you're sitting trying to sort through which one even matters. And that's taking out a lot of time. So instead, I try and give myself 3 minutes. That's as long as a song would take. Program it to a song that resonates or that matches that frequency. If it's about money, be a whole lot of money, because my mind will stay there because the song is there. Sometimes you need something to override your conscious mind. That way your subconscious has freedom to explore, because that's normally what it is. You don't have a distraction. Like how Duchess was talking about, she'll doodle, she'll draw the circles, and that's how she downloads. That's because conscious mind needed a distraction. That way subconscious could listen. Some of us, we do it while we're showering. Why? Because you're consciously focused on washing a certain portion of your body. Subconscious is freedom. Some of y'all get it while y'all are cooking, because I know my mom, that's how she would do. She would bake and something would come to her because her conscious mind is focused on, oh, can't burn the bread, whatever it fucking was. So things like that, I think that might be one of the ways to do it. Like we said, sex, because you are consciously focused on trying to get your nut, but your subconscious now has freedom to do what it needs to. So that's normally the goal. Distract conscious, subconscious gets free roam. Otherwise, subconscious is trying to override conscious, and then the mind just feels busy because it is a lot. So
and that's how your stuff become chaotic too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Anybody else?
Mambo?
Yes, Toya.
Naturally, while I'm driving, I'm able to use imagery. If I'm not driving, if I'm at home or at work, I have other things on my mind, your New Life oil helps me with imagery quite a bit. And not only imagery, but motivation.
Oh, well, that's what it was created for. Good. I think sometimes I'm afraid of what I see, because I can be. I remember I was driving and I was driving saying, I hope nobody hit me. And then somebody hit the car behind me from behind. And I looked at my rearview mirror and it scared the shit out of me. But I was just thinking, I hope nobody hit me. So I don't know if I sent that wave and it hit the car behind me or not. So I try not to think about anything that's not growth or that's going to produce something. But I still keep that clean slate up there. Yes, Miss Kirsty, in the chair. We love it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mama Duchess, and thank you, Jasmine, for being here with us.
Yes.
I put it in the chat, but this is actually the first time I've heard imagery conversation surrounding neurodivergence, if you will, whether it's ADHD or on the spectrum or whatever it is. And it got to the point where I would just say it because I actually couldn't focus for a long time. And Jasmine, you said something just a second ago with the longevity of, like you said, monkeying it out. And that makes a lot of sense because like on all these meditation apps and stuff, I know that there's intention with it, but then I don't know, maybe if that's just the programming from, pray it out from our childhood where you just keep longing. You're like, maybe if I do it longer, it'll come to me. But then I ended up having to get very technical. So like the house that I won, I literally hired an architect to make me a blueprint, because I would go past it and monk it out, if you will, if I may so use that term. And I would end up running away with it to where I was fantasizing, and then I was lost in it and I wasn't even present anymore. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
but,
it does.
It's like you get lost. I would get lost with it.
I think there's a name for that, and I don't, if somebody knows different, correct me, maladaptive daydreaming. That might not be the right term, but I think that's what it's called. But a lot of people that are neurodivergent, they have that. My sister, she does it stronger than I do. She'll get lost for hours in that, not days, because our conditioning growing up kept her from that. But if you find yourself, because a lot of people, when they get that deep into it, I call it the trance phase, most of us, how can I say, we get clearance for it. Like, you ask for that. You need to tap out. Disney, when they came out with that movie Soul, I think there's a perfect reference to that. The guy that they have, the homeless man, he's spinning the sign on the road, and you just think he's some kook, but he's literally up in the spirit realm, and he's navigating, he's helping people find themselves and shit like that. All of us are not meant to be tuned in all the time here, which is why I think a lot of people are taking off the mask, and not the actual COVID mask. I mean, taking off our physical mask, our emotional mask, our spiritual mask, or whatever, and starting to operate out of their true selves. Oh, I can't do a 9 to 5 anymore because it's keeping me from living in that version of myself. So the longevity portion, when it comes to daydreaming like that, sometimes most of us that can keep it going that long, it's not the same thing we keep seeing. There are new portions to the vision.
Yes, it's exhausting. Isn't it? So that's why I said, like in the chat, like I said, that's why I finally was just like, I need a fucking blueprint. Like I need something that says, this is that, leave it alone. Because, and it's not that I wanted to grow, it's just, it'll keep growing and growing and growing. And I've got like 3 different cities I'm operating in.
Yeah, so I think part of that is to show you your own creative, not cap, because we don't cap our creativity, but your own creative meter, like how long you can go. Because sometimes we don't see ourselves until we're in those states, and we just keep adding on to these visions, these scenarios. You're going through the full, you're crying about something that's never even happened and shit like that. And it is exhausting. You're angry with your partner over something they've never done, but you envisioned what would happen if they did, and stuff like that. So when I find myself
fear falls into it too.
Yes.
So what?
Fear.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% convinced, because I don't know what else it could be.
Because fear is the only thing that'll keep sending you back in a circle like that, because it's residual. Because I feel like when you have fear, you don't get all your fear out in one shot unless something happens in one shot. Other than that, it's like you're getting it out over a course of time. I just said something about having to let the battery run out, because there's just too much in there, too much power, too much energy behind the fear. So
now it feels like anxiety.
I'm learning how to alchemize my anxiety and use the adrenaline portion off of it, because all of us get a kick of adrenaline when you get anxious. So I feel like if you can
How do you do that?
It depends on the scenario, because sometimes the anxiety for me is just anxiety, but every now and then, like, let's say it's a conversation that I need to have with someone, debating, I just muted myself and unmuted myself. I'll be debating on whether or not I want to have the conversation with somebody. I'll just make myself dial in the middle of actually thinking it out, instead of giving myself time to sit and contemplate myself out of it. I would just call. Like now it's already ringing.
I'm like, I don't know what, I don't have a plan. I'm just jumping, like spear into the skid.
Jump.
Okay.
Jump.
Very interesting.
I mean, other than that, what else are you going to do with your fear? Like, I remember Will Smith talking about how he was terrified about jumping out of a plane, until he jumped. And he said all the fear up until that moment was so pointless because like you haven't even done it yet. So what the fuck am I afraid of? And I don't know why that stuck with me because I'm still scared out of, you know, jumping out of a plane. I might never do that, but I do get the unnecessary extra that we add with the anxiety and shit when we're afraid of doing something.
Okay.
So, Duchess, what do you think?
See, for me, if I fear it, I'm gonna do it. Like anything I fear, I'm gonna do it because that's just my subconscious. I've always feel like trying to fight me because you can fight within yourself. And so I always look at it as if I've thought it out and I can see it, it could be. And if someone tells me no, I just transmute that energy into a yes for me. Now I might have to tweak it, but I'm never gonna fear it. Anytime I fear something, that means it's a yes. That means it's a yes for me because that's just me trying to tap into this subconscious part of myself that wants me to stop. And if I did that, I wouldn't be here.
So how do you get, so I would get to that part by getting angry. Like I finally would just hit my moment where I'm like, I'm gonna go. How do you get to that part before? Like, does that make sense? Like, how do you get to where?
See, that's why I said some people, they function out of dark energy. That's why I said dark energy, it does not mean it's bad. It's just different.
Correct.
See, I don't believe in a light worker and I don't believe in a dark worker and I don't believe
I'm in a session. Sorry.
It's okay. I don't believe in it like that. I believe that everybody function because there's no such thing as light or dark because everything is about manipulation. Even if you're doing some work to heal somebody, maybe that person was supposed to be sick. So you manipulating the results of that, I don't believe in good or bad. It's just what, because it's all subjective. It's what you believe it is to be.
Yep.
So I don't believe that. I believe in dark energy is probably the most healthier energy because that's what the earth is made out of. It's 90-some% dark energy. So when you get upset about something, now if you become destructive with it, then that is something that you need to work on. What's triggering you into destruction? But working out of that dark energy isn't bad. And we have to take
more about that.
Huh?
That's what I was referring to, not destruction, just to the point where you're just
that's so, because okay, so now you in that frame of mind where you mad about it, right? So you're gonna take that anger and do something productive with it, or are you gonna take that anger and do something destructive? When I get upset about something, that's when I create the biggest. That's when I manifest the most because I'm in that space. Because how dare you tell me I can't do something? I know good goddamn well I can.
That's what I mean. That
because it could have been 20
Right.
people. No, it's okay. It could have been 20 people that say that ain't gonna work. I don't give a fuck about them 20 people because them 20 people could have did different things. And I'm not gonna let them talk down on me. Yeah, I'm not gonna let them talk down on me. So I'm gonna take that energy and I'm gonna do something productive with it. Some of y'all got some grandmamas right now been with Leroy for 27 years and this nigga have not married her. And in her mind, she would tell you in a New York, he ain't gonna marry you. Why? Because the nigga didn't marry you?
Projections, straight projection. Yeah.
So you have to be open to that's what's actually happening. We have let everybody project all of their insecurities onto us, all of the bad shit onto us. So we taking that on.
Yeah.
We have let someone else's download become our download, and we don't even understand that. Every thought you think is not your thought. Y'all think about how y'all come into a room with people and you was feeling good. You know what I'm saying? You put your lashes on the first time, you didn't get glue every fucking word, and you didn't have to keep taking glue off and reapplying that bitch. And then you put on that outfit that you wasn't really so sure that it was gonna fit right, but it fit perfect. You can't even see your fupa. Everything is going good. You got there, you had enough gas in the car, you didn't have to stop. As soon as you walk into the fucking room, right? You got 2 or 3 people that's negative as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And now guess what you did? Now that happy feeling that you was feeling, they have now projected that energy into the room and now you don't feel happy no more. And now you trying to figure out what the fuck I was feeling good before I got here.
Yeah.
Now I'm feeling drained. They taking all of my energy. Now I feel tired and sleepy. And bitch, I slept all night tonight. I did good. So again, that's just that transmutation of that energy. What you decide to take on. What are y'all deciding to take on? That's why I said maybe it is the narcissistic side of me, but I can block all of that out because I don't even give a fuck. It does not matter what you think. It does not matter what you've been through. It does not matter. None of that has nothing to do with who? You. That's why when you come into my house, I will never wear shoes. You want to know why? Because I want to control the energy that flows in my home. Because it's my bare feet that have touched that floor, and I have given my feet the instructions to control the energy of what's going on in my house. So if you are not meant to be in my house, you know what you're going to do? You're either going to leave or you're going to sleep. But you're going to say, oh, I'm so comfortable here. I'm so comfortable. God and got sleepy. No, it's me. You ain't going to come over here with this bullshit. And my spirit seen it and was like, no.
Yeah.
So you can control this, y'all. You might have to put a little bit more effort into it, but you can control it.
And to add to what you, keep going. My bad.
No, go ahead, baby.
No, I was just gonna say, to add what you said about fear. I just saw a TikTok from one of my mutuals, and they were talking about not attaching a narrative to everything. And I know when you get into the spiritual community, a lot of us get bad about that. You fuck around, you getting dressed, your favorite clutch, the handle comes undone. Oh, this because so-and-so. No, the purse is fucking old. It's not because of anything. And you constantly adding a narrative to something is the reason shit keep fucking up for you. Because you think every time you do something that you feel is bad, because you have that judgment around bad, things just get repeated like karma. I'm not a subscriber of karma per se, because I feel like a lot of people think of karma as, everybody gonna get their comeuppance. Everybody's not gonna get their comeuppance. You want to know why? The people that do the worst of the worst shit, a lot of them get away with that shit for two reasons. They don't think what they're doing is bad, or they don't care. And either one of those works because they don't have a concept of it. This is not bad to me. This is not good to me. This is just something. Everybody else tends to get shit returned to them because you're expecting it. So the energy of the universe has to abide by that because you are expecting it. You made an assumption. Now it must be returned. Stop assuming shit. Don't assume this is because you did so-and-so, because then it will be. And that's craziness.
And that's why I say too, everybody can't be cursed. The first thing they want to do because they're having a whole bunch of bad luck. Can you tell if I have a curse on me? No, baby, it's just your poor decisions.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy you said that.
And they get upset. They go, excuse me, you don't have a curse on you, darling. You just make some very piss poor decisions. And they'll go, well, this happened to me. And well, I'm getting evicted. Well, bitch, you didn't pay your rent. If you don't pay your rent, that man not gonna let you stay in that apartment or that house. Well, my car's getting repoed. Girl, you got 45 days. Them goddamn people is gonna pick that motherfucker up. Do you hear me? Mm-hmm. Y'all act like y'all have no control and then somebody did something to you. Well, I can't keep no money and I be working hard. Well, how many people you got in the house? 7? And you the only one working. Hell no, you ain't gonna keep no money because you paying for every fucking thing. That ain't a curse. That's just piss poor decision making. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Miss Morrison. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I'm just wondering, okay, because at work, everybody tends to come on to me and just basically unload their shit all over me. And then I have to come home. So how do I go about just saying, not now or
not now?
Well, it's
that was good.
They're coworkers.
Jasmine, that was so.
I'm sorry.
That was so magical.
They're coworkers, so I can't just turn around and be like, I can't talk to you because usually, they're dealing with work and the students and the coworkers and you know, ABC. So how do I just
So
say,
put it
I don't want
into
to do this?
work lingo. You know, due to my current workload and the capacity of the job that I am already taking on at this very moment in time, I don't have any extra time to exert on whatever you require of me. I really don't fucking know, because it's been so long since I worked in 9 to 5 or had to deal with people like that. So
let me give you some of my Southern Belle advice. Let me tell you what
South Carolina.
I would simply tell people, I am so sorry that you're going through that, and I'm so sorry that you feel that way. But I'm so sorry, I can't listen to them right now.
Mm-mm.
I got so much stuff that I need to do, and I know you busy too, but I can't listen to that right now. Well, I know you ain't got a counselor. You probably need to get you a counselor. You probably need to talk to somebody. Not me though, but somebody.
Because all that dumping, my question to you is why do you believe that their peace is more important than yours? Why are you prioritizing their state of mind before yours? Because that's the definition of insanity to me, is one crazy entertaining another. You can't be out of your mind trying to help somebody that's out of theirs. So you must be within peace of mind, which means if you have none, you're gonna have to wait till I find a peace of mind. And if I have some to spare, then we can chat. But
no, I just feel like, you know, like I'm okay. And then all of a sudden they come, they unload, and then I'm in a shitty mood.
But Marcy, where is your control at? Baby,
where are your boundaries?
It is not rude to tell people, baby, I do not want to hear that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I tell people a lot? Your emergency is not my emergency. Because whatever you have going on, it was already going on before you sit your ass down here. See, the problem is people don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
And people don't know how to say stop. Well, as long as you don't know how to say no and you don't know how to say stop, you are going to be continued. Listen, I do not trauma bond, and I do not accept you dumping your issues on me. We go out to eat and we go have drinks, and you can start complaining. I'd be like,
don't tell me that.
I don't want to hear that. Because if you having problems with your man, you having problems with your woman, you've already been having problems with them.
And y'all have to stop taking that trauma dumping as a sign of people being comfortable with you. They're not comfortable. You just made yourself available. It's not because your presence is warm and they really felt like they could confide in you. No, they were just tired of holding the shit and you were an open vessel. So I would start taking that as the ultimate disrespect when people come and trauma dump on you. Fuck you. Why would you do such a thing? It's so rude.
Why would you even want to come around in somebody's existence? They feeling all right, they feeling good, and here you come with your bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking everybody mood up. Don't nobody want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. If you want talking about sucking 2 dicks at one time and no shit like that, and you ain't got some funny stories, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. I listen to people problems all day long. The worst thing you can do, and I get paid for that, thank you. Yeah. The worst thing you can do is to hit me up after the fact. When I got out, I'm going home, I'm going to relax. Because people act like, and I know, and I'm just speaking for me, I'm not speaking for Jasmine. People act like I don't have a life but to sit up and listen to people's problems. They act like that's all the fuck I want to do. I can literally be like, somebody come, hey, Duchess. I'll be like, hey, girl. I'll be like, I could tell by that girl. I ain't got to hear nothing else. Let me call you back because I'm just getting home. Mm-hmm. And the worst thing you can do is to sit up and let them still dump on you after you've already set this boundary that they just walked the fuck over. Mm-hmm. People will take advantage of you if you let them. That's not their fault, that's your fault. They might get offended by it because you set a boundary, but maybe that boundary needed to be set. That's what's wrong with us now. We let people just be wild benches when it comes to us and then wonder why everything around us is so chaotic. Mm-hmm. Where is your control? People can say that I'm rude and I'm mean because people will say that. It's not that. I'm just very matter of fact. I do not allow you to do that to me. Ask me how I'm feeling first if I want to hear. Because I might not even want to hear that. And maybe I might be in the mood to hear what you got going on. But one thing I'm not going to do is I don't want to hear it again. If we've talked about it and I done gave you a solution to it, and I'm not going to ever judge you because that's not for me to do. Do it. But if you come back to me and you repeating the same fucking thing, that means you did not listen. You just want attention. And I can't give it to you like that. And that's what y'all let y'all mamas do y'all like that. You know when your mama calls, she full of shit. You know you had a good ass day and your mama get ready to call you to fuck up your goddamn day because she ain't been doing nothing but sitting up smoking bench on the hedges all goddamn day and crying behind this nigga. She ain't went to work today. She ain't did shit. And she fits to call you and trauma bond with you. And you think y'all are bonding, which is what she just said. You not. They just chose an easy target. Why you being an easy target? Because you don't want to be alone, because it's some type of attention. At least you got one friend. They are not your friend. Because who would do a friend like that? Most times, people like me and Jasmine, we don't even tell people what we got going on in our personal life. Because it's always going to be about them.
Yep.
We can start talking about what we're going through, and they immediately will insert their issue because their issue is more important than ours. So you know what we do? We would just won't say shit.
Oh, and something Duchess taught me to, even when I had those moments where I felt like I could be comfortable with somebody, no matter what position they were. People will do this thing when you're in positions like Duchess and I, where you sharing something, trying to even teach them because you have the ability to teach while you're going through something. And now they think you're equals. I just shared a story. This does not mean we are now in the same level and you can, even try and give me advice because you probably still can't. So
I had to tell Jasmine, you don't tell nobody to after it's
nothing. Yep.
You never insert your current, always your past, never your present or even your future like that. Because at the end of the day, we're here for a reason. And not that you guys are small and we big, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. But spiritually, we're here for a reason. And people take entitlement and the unmitigated nerve, they take that shit to the power of 10. Just because I was nice to you don't mean I want to sit up and listen to your problem. Just because I said hello, that don't mean now the door is open and now you can unload. Baby, no. And see, the problem is y'all normalize too much stuff that's toxic as fuck. It's been normalized. Some of y'all still let y'all mama run over y'all. And y'all a whole 20, 30, and 40 years old.
I'll be damned.
Same thing with your daddy. Same thing with your children. Y'all let y'all kids talk to y'all and treat y'all any kind of way because there's a guilt there. Or maybe I did something wrong. Could it just be that you're not your children's only influence? And you could be the best fucking mama in the world, the best fucking daddy in the world, and they could still wind up fucked up. That happens all the time. But parents will take that on as, I must have fucked up, I must have did something wrong. Sometimes it ain't even like that because you ain't their only influence.
Nope.
All of that shit takes away from your magic. All of that stuff takes away from the imagery. All of that stuff takes away from the ability to manifest. That's why I could clear my mind and not have, none of that is a factor to me. That's why I said you can't take so much shit so serious all the time. Sometimes stuff, it just is what it is. That's it. It just is what it is. And that's okay. It just is what it is. All right, Miss Tennille. Am I saying it right? Tennille?
I was thinking
that. Yes, you got it right, Duchess. Thank you so much for having this. Is that what it means in the Bible where it says that the children of darkness are wiser than the children of light? When I'm able to recognize that, hey, somebody may label this as dark, but it's not really dark. It's really how I'm choosing to look at it. Is that what it means in that scripture?
Let me ask you a question. In Genesis, what did God turn into what?
He turned the darkness into light.
All right. So that
Thank
came
you.
first.
Okay. Okay.
That's why we dwell in it first.
Okay.
That's why we heal in it first.
Okay.
That is why.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. Thank you.
Anybody else? Come in.
Hello?
Just about is fine.
I feel like I heard a whisper say hello.
Is somebody who whispering? Don't whisper. Go ahead, Miss Ty Scott. How you doing, darling?
Hey, hey y'all. How y'all doing?
Good.
Okay, I had a question because I feel like the energy that I get, you know, from you, Jasmine, and also Duchess is very much so in your divine feminine energy. I feel like you guys really know how to protect your energy, and like you really just honor that, and you really put yourself first. And I wanted to know, you know, in so many words, how did you get there? And it just, you know, it doesn't have to be Chris Long. And I know it's a complicated question, but I really admire that. And I'm trying to get on that level of recognizing like the goddess within myself, or, you know, or that energy that is something that's natural. How do I get on that same level? Because I feel like it's more to do with just reading a book. It requires, you know, something deeper. And I'm still trying to, like, you know, find that thing. If it's even more than one thing, if you guys get what I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna say for me, I'm 43 now. It started when I was about 30. It hit me at 30. And for Jasmine at 25, I think that's beautiful. At 25 years old to be where she is now, by the time she's 43, she'll be a fucking powerhouse. Bigger than me, like real talk, because the realization didn't hit me to 30. I woke up one morning and I just didn't want to be sad no more. I didn't want to be sad. I didn't want to feel bad about shit. I didn't want my past to bother me like that. Because I realized I let everybody control how I thought I should be a good mother, how I thought I should be a good wife. I let everybody else define it for me. And at 30, it was just like I woke up and it was just it. And nothing even happened. Nothing happened to make me say, oh, I'm so tired of this. And because it was already shit that I had normalized. So that was normal for me. You know what I wanted to say? You know what I said to myself? I just want to be bored. I want to be bored. I don't want to have so much attached to so many things. I just want to be bored. I'm tired of crying. What the fuck am I crying for at this point? I've already cried about that. I'm tired of being sad about that. I've already been sad about that. He left, she left. They don't want to be attached to me. Listen, I decided I just choose me. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But if I don't feel good about it, I don't want it. So I started saying it with friends. If I don't really feel like she's a friend to me, but I'm more of a friend to her, maybe that's just me. Every time she calls, I'm there. But whenever I call her, she don't ever answer the phone. Whenever she needs something, I'm right fucking there. But when it's time for me, never. Okay, well, I need to exit out of my life because this is not a balanced energy. See, it's nothing wrong with being useful, but it's something wrong when you start feeling you being used. And you got to normalize and know the difference. So for me, I just decided one day I didn't want to care like that. It was 30. When I hit that 30 mark, I didn't want to hide shit no more, whatever, you know, because you know how I don't want nobody to judge me, so I'm really not going to tell everything. I decided I'm going to tell my own goddamn story. And I'm going to tell now, if you want to go and look to see what else that happened and ask the people, I don't give a fuck. And then I got to the point, I don't even want to explain it. Well, such and such said this. Well, go back and hear some more shit. Because I can't change your mind any fucking way. If you don't like me, there is nothing I can say that's gonna make you like me, because you've already made your mind up. That's how life and people are.
Mm-hmm.
At 30, that's when it hit me. I was tired of hurting. I was overweight. I was almost 400 pounds at one point. This is the honest God truth. I was sick as fuck. I couldn't even walk from the house to my car without sweating and shit. I was tired. I felt really fucking hopeless. I felt like ain't none of this shit working for me, because I wasn't working for me. I get upset, I start eating. I get upset, I'm popping pills. I'm just telling you about me. And I got tired of always having to be up under something to be happy. Whether I'm smoking weed, there ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed, because, bitch, I will toke and I will eat some edibles and shit. I will, I ain't gonna lie. But I didn't want to exist in that space. Like, that's the only way that I could exist, that I have to be intoxicated or up under something. I didn't want to do that. And food was a drug for me too. Oh, eat. Just, I wasn't even hungry, but that was the way I was coping. So I had to just choose me. I couldn't care about how my mama felt about nothing, because I ain't gonna never make her happy. You wanna know why? Because she wasn't happy. She wasn't a happy person. And I keep telling y'all, if your mother that created you was not happy, she would not be happy with anything she created, because it's a part of her. So she's not going to even recognize it, because she don't see it in herself. All of it just started playing in my mind. And I'm like, what do I do with this? And I just started journaling. That self-love kit I do, it came from that. Like today, I'm going to go home a different way. I got to go home straight like this all the time. I'm going to go home. Today, I'm going to do something different. Instead of this ghetto ass Walmart that I complain about all the time, I'm just going to drive another 35 fucking minutes to this other Walmart, and I'm going to go here. It's just something that snapped at me. I don't even know if I'm answering the question, but that's what it was for me. I didn't want to be attached to a nigga I didn't want to be attached to. I didn't want to, listen, I like women and men. Fuck it. I'm going to take them both. Do y'all realize in this motherfucking life, you only get to live one time that you know about? How many people are dead now? The cemetery is full of people that never completed shit. It's the only place that there's equality, because you got everybody there. So how are you gonna live your fucking life? You gonna live your fucking life consistently worrying about this and where you getting older. 5 years ago, you could run up a fucking mountain. Now, shit, you run a little bit, you be tired than a motherfucker. You getting older. Mm-hmm. 7 years ago, you could fuck all day. Now you were like, listen, I might can get you one time. I'm gonna hit you one time real good, and then let's be done. So again, how are you choosing to live? My daddy was 86 years old when he passed away. And I remember he was going blind, right? And I remember laying there with him in the bed, and I was like, Daddy, you can't leave. You know what my daddy said? He said, baby, I've got to see 86 years of sunsets and 86 years of sunrises. I've got to fucking eat whatever I wanted. I'm not going to leave this world in any regrets. You try to get there. I was like, I was 35 when he died, but it made sense. And I've been living that way ever since. So I know a lot of people might say that me and Jasmine both, y'all wild as fuck. Not really. I'm just living in my space. And it's unapologetic. I'm not going to apologize for it.
Yeah.
If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. If I said it, I said it. If I did it. So fucking what? I don't have any regrets. Let me tell you something. When I got in trouble and I had to write a letter to the people I embezzled almost $250,000 from, I had to write a letter. Why it took me 2 years to write that letter to them to say I was sorry? Because I wasn't fucking sorry. That motherfucker owed me some money. He didn't want to pay me. I'm gonna get it one way or another. Do you hear me? Listen, I didn't regret that shit. And then when I did write the letter, it wasn't up for 4 sentences. Because 4 sentences is a paragraph, and I didn't want to make it too long. And you know what my first sentence was? I'm sorry y'all felt that way. my probation officer goes, you know, this is technically not an apology. And he said, I've been waiting 2 years for this. I said, sir, that's about the best you're going to get out of me.
Yeah.
I said what I said. I meant what I said. I've grown. If you can't see that, it's people right now still be talking about, you remember in 2001 when you had, goddamn bitch, we in 2022. Why are you still bringing that whole ass shit up? Remember when you used to be a hoe?
That's
Probably
what it is.
Still is, bitch. Probably still is, and you will hoe too when you're not even getting paid for it. Think about how many dicks you done sucked and you ain't told nobody about. You know my business, but I don't know you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's what it is. It's a whole bunch of people scared to live in their authenticity.
You better
That's
be
what
who
I
you
got
gonna
tired
be. If you like being a hoe, be a hoe, goddamn. If you a thief, be the best goddamn thief. If you a liar, living your lies, bitch. Like whatever the fuck it is for you, that is what you do. You gotta make, and people are not gonna be happy because people like conformity. That's why I cannot be E5. I cannot get, listen, I can't be in none of it. I like being just like this.
Yep.
I like being like this. I like talking about everything. I can sit with a Satanist and we'll have the most alluring conversation. And I don't give a fuck about them believing in Satan or nothing like that. Who the fuck am I to judge? Them some of the nicest people you will ever meet. Those that worship Lucifer. Some of the nicest fucking people and love to cook. God damn it, they'll feed you folk. Because a Christian don't want to give you shit with a Bible scripture that they don't even fucking live by. Girl, you better live your life. And at 25, she doing it. I can't even imagine where I'll be if I did that shit at 25 and I'm 43 now.
Listen.
If you young, you better have some stories. Y'all know how many people ain't got no stories? They ain't got no stories. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got, girl, I almost went to jail. So they ain't got nothing. Girl, I went to school and I studied this.
That's nice, but playing the good girl, that's not how you get anywhere. I think for me, the biggest thing was, because you said we embody the divine feminine. And I appreciate that because I know where you're coming from. But for me, I think it was about getting in touch with divinity, just in general.
In general.
Duchess and I were just talking about this, how a lot of people, especially a lot of women, are trying to learn how to embody their divine feminine, but that's not where a lot of us thrive at. I was just talking with my good friend Kelly Marisha just this past weekend about how we are not the type that embody the divine feminine. What you see on us is more of a masculine energy, because my creativity, that's as far into my chaos normally that I allow myself to go as far in, is that everything else is my masculine energy. It's me having some sort of structure, because what happens is the divine feminine is such a popular thing in the spiritual community because it has the largest aesthetic behind it. You have the dark divine feminine, you got the kitchen witches. It just embodies, it just keeps switching. And what women are really talking about is femininity. They're not really talking about divine feminine, which is learning how to work with that darker energy within yourself, that chaos within yourself. But the divine feminine came first, which means she is technically the first masculine. So that's why I just say divinity as a whole. I call it the great river in my book. It's learning how to flow back and forth, because a river can change directions. Rivers can carve out new routes and new pathways. Rivers can connect to different bodies of water, larger bodies of water, but they still flow within certain guidelines. That's where I try and stay within. So you might see one more than the other if I allow it, but I really try and find a balance between the two. It is always, Duchess said it earlier. What did you say? My structured chaos? No. What did you call it, Duchess? Fuck, because now I can't remember.
Oh, well, baby, you smoke a lot of weed, so I can.
Essentially that. structured chaos.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to be able to structure what comes into your life that's chaotic. You know, it's either going to be productive or it's going to be destructive.
Yep.
But you control it. You control it. You control the narrative. Point blank, period. You do. There's nothing about you. I'm going to tell you this, as I've told Jasmine and her team. I flow out of dark energy all the time, and I move in my masculine energy all the time. Yes, there is a fine line between divine feminine energy and masculine energy. And the way I flow in business, the way I flow aesthetically, I look feminine.
Right.
But that is not the energy that I flow out of.
Nope, very masculine presenting. Yep.
I look very feminine.
There.
Yeah, I look very feminine and very, but I can be something else.
That's that protection.
Well, I was going to say, I appreciate the distinction between the two, and like recognizing that to be feminine does not, the divine femininity does not necessarily mean lightness all of the time. It also, like you said, is that balance, as you guys were saying, and it's that, you know, that relationship between the two, and allowing certain parts of it to come out at certain times and really managing it. And that's really more so really what I meant, that I could really tell that you know how to manage it. And I feel like when you meet somebody and you can kind of tell when one energy is unmanaged or not really well taken care of, and it's almost like a surplus, and it's almost like malignant. And you always want to be in a state of, okay, I'm gonna let a little bit more come out at this time, as opposed, you know, and then knowing which situations
you know what else, Todd Scott?
Put it in.
You know what else? Lead with kindness. Even when you have to set somebody straight, still lead with kindness. Even if you have to put somebody in their place, still lead with kindness. That's the divine feminine energy. Yeah, you can be that, but lead with kindness, but still say what it is, what it means for you.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Because I think, just to piggyback, like leading off with kindness, a lot of people start thinking that dark divine feminine energy means you just get to be a bitch unwarranted. That's not the goal. When I tell people like activate bitch mode, activating bitch mode is really just activating that layer of fear of you actually being yourself. That is your bitch mode, because that's what you believe would make you a bitch. It's saying what actually is on your mind, and you're not even sure how you would say it, but using what Duchess said, leading with kindness, that's always your intention. I'm not trying to offend, but I'm going to say what the fuck I got to say. Yeah. Then you'll never really overstep your bounds, because that was not my intention. And the fact that I told myself my intention before I speak, my higher self gonna regulate and make sure I say what I need to say. And if I don't,
the exact way you need to say it, that's right. Because a lot of people, they are emotionally unintelligent, so they're going to purposely mistake what you say any fucking way. They do not exercise in their emotional intelligence at all. And it could be 40, 50. You have 20-year-olds that are more emotionally intelligent than a 50-year-old woman, and that's sad. Just think about how many mamas, y'all can't even talk to your mama about nothing, because she ready to get mad, and she ready to get upset, and she's easily offended about every fucking thing.
Just got mad.
Like, girl.
You better say that shit.
I just asked you about this. Why is you going through with this?
I mean,
and
I noticed that.
You raised your boy, girl, let me get my purse.
Yes.
Look, that'll do it.
That'll do
it. Where's my purse so I can go? Go ahead, Miss Sarah Jones. My mama name is Sarah. I hope you say something nice.
Hey, Mama. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey.
For being on here. I think you kind of answered my question when you were saying don't be afraid to really tap into that, you know, bad bitch kind of mode.
Yeah.
For me, I feel so positive all the time, and I feel like too much of anything is bad for you in a sense, you know? Like sometimes I don't allow myself to get angry or allow myself to get mad, but at the same time, that might be the feeling that I need to make me feel good. It may feel good to tell somebody off every, you know, like I've only really feel like I tapped into that darker bad bitch side of me only a couple of times before. And when I did,
sorry, you need to do it a little bit more, baby.
Yeah.
How's that throat shot?
I was just gonna say your throat chakra closed as fuck because you won't say anything. That's not helping anybody. You're not sparing anybody when you think you're being
when
nice.
You do explode, it could be very destructive.
I know.
Yeah, you suffer.
I think that's why I'm scared of it, because the couple of times that I did do it, it was like extreme. It was extreme as hell because I've kept in so much shit, you know?
So if you know it was extreme because you kept it in, then why would you continue to keep it in? You're doing the same thing you did before. Don't recreate the pattern once you're aware of it. I used to hate when people would be like, once you know better, you do better, but that you literally have to, because you're now accountable, because you have the awareness. So your actions have to be in alignment now. So when it comes to activating the bitch, again, being a bitch doesn't really mean you just bit somebody's head off. You just said something they didn't want to hear and they're gonna call you a bitch because of it. That's okay though. Like I like to be the Queen of Swords card. That's like my favorite card in general, is the Queen of Swords, because it's ruling with that intellect. Like, yeah, some people are gonna dub you the Ice Queen. That's all right, but you're saying what has to be said. I remember my very first reading, she was like, you're Tahuti, you're Athena. And I was like, okay, whatever that means. And I was like, I don't know about none of that. And then I started looking up Tahuti and I was like, okay, I could rock with this a little bit, but I struggled with Athena because every fucking picture of Athena was somebody that did not look like me. And I was like, I don't know. But I started focusing on their energy, the archetypes. What do they actually represent? That speech, that ability to find words when there are no words and communicate. Because a lot of things, like, especially once you start to evolve spiritually, you don't have words for a lot of this shit because it's not supposed to be said. It's supposed to be an energy transmission. And a lot of people don't know how to transmute, which is why we all fucking speak, which is so crazy to me. All these languages, because we can't get it together on a vibration. But I digress. So once I learned that a little bit, it started to help me, I guess, redirect, or how do I say this, redefine my cadence. I speak a certain way. That way, I don't always lead with kindness. I be trying. I don't always lead with kindness, but I do always try and lead with my intellect. I know whatever I say, I'm going to say it because I know it. I'm being justice, what is that word? I'm trying to look for justice, or I'm trying to follow into that when it comes to the things that I believe in or the things that I support. I don't want to be the person that just goes with the flow and goes with the crowd because I'm scared. No, that's not me. So that balance, weighing things out on the scale.
And see, I think too, for you is this, were you raised like that?
Which one, Mama?
You.
Oh.
I'm high.
It's probably.
I think so, because I never really exerted my, that makes sense.
Did your mom and father raise you?
No, only my mom.
And how did your mother talk to you? Did she yell at you? Did she talk crazy to you? Did she control you?
Yeah.
Okay, so as a child, you have no control over that, right? Because you're being raised by somebody else. But as an adult, you get to choose. So it's your choice now. You're not up under that. A lot of this stuff is programming. I believe in deprogramming. That's why a lot of times when I do readings, and I'm sure Jasmine do too, when we do readings, people get really, really upset because we've told the truth. A lady asked me for a reading the other day, and I told her what I saw, but I also told her how to fix it, but that's not what she wanted to hear. She asked for a refund. I gave it back to her. And then she said, thank you for the advice and the lesson. I'm gonna apply it. So
what?
So, That's not gonna end well.
I get back to it because I'm not gonna ever hold nobody money to have it back here. Good luck to you. So I'm saying to you, the only way to step out of that is just to be.
Yeah.
Maybe the first person you need to confront is your mother. And that don't mean you necessarily call and say, hey, bitch, I ain't say that. No, that might work, because that might be the only language she understand. I don't know. But you, again, you got to take control of it.
Yeah.
And saying no is so important.
You
No.
told me the conversation the other day.
You got to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
You got to exercise that. And it don't matter if they leave or they stay. It's about you. I'm telling you, one of the most awesome things I've recently seen is for what is Jasmine is. She said, well, I don't want to say that to her. A lady had came into our store. And these had to be some of Jasmine people. This couldn't be mine because they know I'm ignorant as fuck.
She said she didn't even know that I was gonna be there until like the day before. And she said she just came in the shop, but she was gonna buy a ticket because she didn't have a ticket before then. So she was not there for me. She was there for
Jasmine person.
No, I don't claim her. I do not claim her.
This was one of Jasmine's people. And she brought in some kids with her. And the kids were coughing and y'all know how I feel about children and stuff like that. And she just coughing and they back there coughing and all I heard is whoo. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then the next thing I know, everybody got up, they put masks on. What happened? Right? What happened? So I come out and they was like, well, that girl back there, her kids is sick. But so y'all would rather make yourself uncomfortable than to address it. So who got to go undress? Me. I'll go back there. I say, excuse me, darling. Are your baby sick? Well, they got allergies. Okay, so they sick. So this is what we gonna do. You're gonna have to leave. Because I don't mind putting nobody out. Y'all know I don't mind doing that.
That's why I didn't want to say nothing. It wasn't my store. I didn't know.
Well, you was up in here, honey, and this was your show.
But
you
I
don't
didn't
let
know
nobody just do nothing in your show.
Out.
Who ain't gonna put somebody? You better look at my Google reviews.
I knew you would, but I was like,
y'all better look at my Google reviews on my business. Because them hoes can't wait to go on Google. But I had to tell her, I was like, baby, you can't be up in here coughing and stuff over people because you have a responsibility, not just to your children, but to the people that you around. Well, sis got mad that I said that to her, and she went outside my store and spit.
Right
outside. On the door, in front of the door. I took care of it, of course. So then she come back and she's fussing and cussing. And so she calls into the store and she said that they said that she had COVID. I said, baby, ain't nobody even mentioned that word. We was talking about the children. We wasn't even talking about you. Well, I ain't got no COVID. I said, well, bless God, baby, because ain't nobody said, well, bless God, sweetheart, ain't nobody said you had COVID. I just said you can't be up, well, what's wrong with me ain't gonna affect nobody else while I'm coughing. What would I just say? We were talking about the kids. How this woman made this about her emotional intelligence. And this was an older one.
Yeah.
I said, ma'am, nobody said that you had COVID. Nobody even mentioned that word. I just said that you have to be accountable for other people too. You have to be accountable for what you expose them to. And I led with kindness. Mm-hmm. And I said, and why are you standing outside my store cussing and acting up? You're not going to do nothing. You then just took that. Well, I said, listen, calm yourself. Because you're going to be fine. You're going to make your cough more. You're going to cough more because you're upset. You're already complaining that you're coughing. You're going to cough a little bit more. You don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. It's all right that you got put out. You ain't get no refund, but that's all right you got put out. Next time, get your coughing. You shouldn't even want to go to work coughing and shit like that. Yeah, you're right. I should have stayed at home. You should have stayed at home. So calm down, dog. All that hooping in the hot, get in your car and go home. Well, I can't come back in the stuff. Not if you ain't got no mask on and doing all that coughing and stuff. I don't want you coughing on my products. I don't want you sitting up in that room coughing over people. That's just not proper. Yeah, it's not proper. I said, yeah, so calm down. Okay.
She was crazy.
She was crazy as fuck. She just kept on. And she was like, well, I didn't want to be, girl, you should say, girl, get out. I'm known for that. Because I do not, if you don't come in respectful, if you don't come in having an understanding, that was just like a lady came in today. She had 3 kids. They touched every goddamn, I was like, sage all this shit. I don't know what the fuck their energy is. They came in and touched every goddamn thing in there. Sage this shit. Again, living your life with authority, living your life with a certain level of respect, living your life with certain boundaries. You have to. A lot of people say, I'm scared of Duchess. Don't be scared of me. I'm not shit to be scared about. Listen, I'm not going to bust a grape, y'all. I'm not going to thump a grape. I'm not going to put my hands on you. I'm not going to even do nothing magically to you. Because Miss Jasmine might not believe in karma, but I sure do. And I ain't got to light a candle on your ass. I wouldn't. I sell them. I would never do that. So anyway, any other questions? I really thank Jasmine for doing this because she didn't have to do this.
Thank you. No,
she did not have to do this. And I like her perspective. It is, she is not, I see the darkness in her, but she is, I guess, a light worker per se, but I
don't claim that.
Huh?
I don't claim to be a light worker.
She's like a butterfly for sure. She's like a little fairy.
I like butterflies because butterflies are dark. A lot of people think butterflies are light and pretty, but butterflies, they like sweet and salty things. So if there's something laying dead, you can normally find butterflies covering it in the forest or at the ocean side, like a dead fish or a dead deer. It'll be covered in butterflies, and I like the darkness of that. That's why I use the butterflies, because a lot of people are attracted to them, but they have no idea the concept behind them. So
have you done something with those butterflies?
Okay. I have them charging on my selenite right now. So I have little vials that I ordered for 2 of them. The ones with like the bigger wings, I'm gonna put in a casing, kind of like I have, oh no, don't fall. Like how I have this one in a casing. I'm gonna put them in something like this, that way I can see them. Because that blue one is my favorite one. It's my favorite one.
When I called my little man, I said, I need some butterflies. He said, he said, you ain't never asked for nothing like that. I said, I know. I said, she's like, I love them. Butterflies, Duchess. I was like, honey, I can get
anything. She did.
I was like, I can get a finger if you need it.
Listen, like, no, I don't think I need a finger. I just need the butterflies.
No, you know what it is? In Mexico, I when I went to Mexico, I was told that they don't own the plots or something like that. Like the family, like they don't own that particular plot. And so if they don't keep paying on it, they'll dig those people up. And so I know a young lady, well, she's not young, she old as fuck, but she goes to Mexico all the time. And she picks up little things and she be like, I got like 10 teeth. I was like, oh girl, 10 human teeth? Girl, bring them to me. I'll take them. So, I be getting some of I get some of everything. That stuff be fun to me. I'm like, oh, what you got? She was like, it's a femur. Bitch, if you don't bring that femur here, I can't wait till you bring me that femur. That sounds wonderful. So yeah, she said, I want some butterflies. I was like, well, let me go find her some butterflies. Now, I'm not quite sure what she gonna do with them, but I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna find her.
I'll show you. This is the one. I had a butterfly died in my backyard, and it died like it just ran out of fuel on top of a plant. So, I don't know if y'all can see it, but I have him sitting in here with some shrooms. It was a transformation spell we did a while ago. And yeah, well, it was a hard process getting them wings in there without breaking them. And I thought like the color would come off and they would start to dissolve. They've lasted really long and the shroom thing has gotten bigger. But the transformation is still happening and things are still getting bigger. So I'd say it worked. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the blue ones yet. I think I might just keep those on display. I may not work the blue ones. I might work the other ones because I like the blue ones so much. Y'all, she got some really pretty ass butterflies. You should put them on your website. That would be a thing because you got some good ones. I don't even know how you found, like you said you could get anything because they only have dead leaf butterflies, the plug that I have. And you got me all sorts of variations. I love that.
Yeah, I can pretty much get any fucking thing. I can. I had never had, a lady came in the same day that I talked to you, she asked for a crow's skull. And I said, ooh, I think I'll look that up. And then I found somebody, I'm like, I'm gonna order 10.
Yeah.
And so he called me, he said, hi. Hi, Magickal Lady Duchess. I was like, oh, this is just what I needed. Oh, he sound like he gonna be all right to me. He was like, I ain't got 10, but I can go kill him and I can get you 10. I said,
wait, oh my God.
said, sir, whatever you feel like you need to do to fix my order.
Oh my God.
I don't want to know that. And don't email me that. I don't want no part of that, but I'll take it. Now, I don't want to know how you got it, but I'll certainly take it. Yeah, I be trying to get coyotes' foots and all kind of shit, you know.
Ooh,
that's the hoodoo in me. I like animal parts. I need to teach a class on animal parts one day. I'd be so scared Peter or something. We seen a video because you know they be sharing your shit. Yeah, you know they'll be sharing your shit. We seen a video. You had some animal fuck up. Well, anyway, thank you guys. If there are no other questions.
I have a question, if that's possible.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hi. Hello from London, by the way, actually.
Oh, hi.
Hi from London. There's another one here on London, JL. She's from London too.
Oh, that should be fun.
It's kind of following on from what the other lady was saying and how you said you kind of decided to turn things around. And I obviously, I had another kind of Zoom thing today about women and mental health, Black women, mental health and business. But I just wondered how you found each other and who you get support from and how you found those people to get support and give you support through your journey.
How we found each other, or are you talking about our mentors or my godfather?
In general, so the people that I suppose you don't have to name them, but I suppose the people who mean the most to you or the people who kind of give you the most guidance, because obviously you're obviously teaching people, but obviously there are people who are teaching and guiding you. And I wondered how you found those people, whether they're family or you kind of gravitated towards those people. I just wanted to where and how that came about, if that did.
I feel like for me, it was random. Like my best friend, I requested her because I was in a place where I had done some work and it's like, I need somebody in a certain type of space where I feel like she'll keep me balanced. She's not trying to take from me. She's not trying to compete with me. She has a level of maturity because I don't often not necessarily get along with people my age, but I can't always connect with people my age, depending on whatever. So that was for that. My mentors thus far, I won't name him only because I don't want no beef. But the first few, they were in a Facebook group all together. And I ended up with like 4 of them. It was messy. They were good for the spiritual purposes. The other shit, weird, messy shit. So no. So then I kind of pulled away from having a mentor, tried it again. That shit was weird and messy. But then I was like, okay, maybe it's because I'm not requesting a teacher. I'm just allowing things to happen. So I started requesting teachers. And sure enough, certain people showed up in my life. My good friend, Kelly Marie, that's like my big sister. She came through. Kelly has been one of those people where it's always a moment where I do not want to hear that shit. So now I'm like, I'm mad. I'm like, I'm not fucking talking to her. Because why the fuck would she say some shit like that? But she's right. She's always fucking right. And so after a while, I was like, damn, I need to apologize to her. And I was like, Kelly, I don't even know if you know this. You probably don't. And I was like, but I've been so mad at you because you always say something that I don't want to hear and you're always right. She's like, oh, I know. I was just waiting for you to realize that I'm only doing it because I'm looking out for you, because I see you. And so I was like, I requested a teacher, and it's weird that I'm pushing you off after I asked for this. And so with her, it just kind of like, we found each other through a Facebook group. Her group was similar to mine. And all she told me was, you should be monetizing. Why did I get so mad about that? Because my ego was all displaced and shit like that. So the other mentors that have come after that have kind of come in similar fashion. Some of them have booked me for readings, not because they really needed me for a reading or anything like that, but because I needed a reading and I didn't know it. And some of them have ended up delivering messages to me. Actually, Duchess and I connected like that. She wanted me to come out to Dallas. I was already on my way out to Dallas, and I love divine timing. So I was like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. And I don't know how, I don't know how you found me, Duchess. Didn't you say your niece or somebody showed a video?
One of my employees showed me a video, and they said, you should watch this. And I watched it, and then I just kept watching. And I was just laughing. And I said, who the hell is this girl? Because I had never seen her before. And I liked what she said. And I said, she young? How the fuck? Because most young people don't be on no shit like that. And I said, well, I would love for her to come out. And she was already coming out. So I didn't even know. I just reached out. And the first thing I told her was, I don't want to talk to you for free.
She did. Yeah.
I want to pay for your time. And she was like, oh, no. I said, I want to pay for your time. Please keep it. And then I gave her another gift.
She did.
Because I always believe in an even exchange of energy. I don't believe in talking to people in their time for free. And then meeting her in real life, she's everything she says she is. And that's very rare. That's very, very rare that you meet people and they're exactly who they show that they are. Because most people have a facade, and she did. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. And it didn't even matter what her age was, because her knowledge and also her maturity is vast. It's up there. And then when she said, well, I want to take your class, I want to sit under you. And I go, oh.
Listen, I was so excited because I'm going to tell y'all something. I was opposed to every form of a closed practice that reminded me of religion and that had people teaching that didn't follow the practices, because there was a lot of people like, oh, you need to be initiated. Okay, so where'd you get initiated? Oh, well, I'm not, but I'm getting initiated. No, that's not what the fuck you said. And then all these like spiritual Facebook groups. Oh my God. Oh God, everybody was like really just Pinteresting information, like little quotes that made them feel good or little quotes that made them feel powerful, but they really weren't doing any work. And I thought that shit was weird. So it's like, I'm never going to fucking learn hoodoo unless I learn it from somebody that I feel is in a frequency that I could learn from, because I'm very particular about who I get my information from now that I know how to interpret energy and feel it out. Because with every mentor that I had that did not work out with, I knew something was off, but I just thought it was my paranoia. But now I know how to listen for shit. So when Duchess was like, yeah, I'm gonna be teaching a graveyard class, I was like, the fact that I've even been thinking about graveyards in general, and I don't remember how that started up, but somebody asked me about it, I think in a session, and I told them I couldn't help them because I don't teach hoodoo. And I was like, and if I knew somebody to connect you to, I would. And it was probably me speaking on it. And then here comes Duchess, and she's like, I'm teaching this graveyard class. Oh, we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. I made my entire team go, and we sat, y'all, that class was amazing. I bought so much shit while I was there, and I've started using it all. And listen, I go to a lot of metaphysical shops, but I told Duchess, I was like, why did I get home and I used the home and job spray, and I was like, I'm gonna see what this one do. And I sprayed it, like it's literally like pulling magic shit out of the bag and like, ooh, what does this one do? And you have no idea. 3 minutes later, I heard my Cash App ding, and I heard my PayPal ding. And I was like, I didn't even turn on my notifications. And then I realized, oh, I have a new phone. So I hadn't turned off my notifications. And then the shit kept dinging. I was like, well, goddamn, Duchess, this shit works. She was like, yeah, if you buy my shit, I want you to know, like, you can get your stuff anywhere. But if you get it from me, it's going to work. Yeah, no, listen, hoodoo, learning what I learned about conjure, like it's a constant feed. Because I have a money bowl. And while she was talking, I was like, damn, that makes sense. I stopped feeding my fucking money bowl. It's probably all pissed off because money is an energy. How you just start giving it shit and then all of a sudden you like, nah, but I need something from you. Well, bitch, fuck you too then. So I came back and I started feeding my money bowl and everything done picked up again. So I learned a lot in that class. I like the fact that we had the books we could take home with because I like writing things down. I wrote some shit down earlier. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Well, for me, my mother was a high priestess. My mother was E5. And so I grew up in that religion. And then as a teenager, when we got here and I started, I didn't even know what my mom was doing was quote unquote wrong or demonic or whatever. I didn't know that until I got to school. And this is how my mom dressed, what I have on today. Or she had on some dashiki, or she had a necklace that got some bones in it or something, some Nutri-Rat bones or something. Like that's how she dressed every fucking day. She would have periods of time because she was Paulo as well. She would shave her hair off. And so I grew up in that kind of environment. I didn't even know what a pagan was, but I grew up in that type of environment. And so when I got in high school and people, you know, listening to everybody else, I got into church, trying to go to church. I'm even an ordained minister, which I think is fucking hilarious. And then I started questioning everything based on what my experiences were. And then my mom, my great aunt, I'll say that, she adopted me. And that's who taught me. I got initiated when I was 17 years old. I did not want to be a part of that religion, but I was initiated. So I am initiated, Haitian initiated, but I do not practice that. And then as I got older, I tried to find other mambos and babalaos, and I was their spiritual wife. So instead of them teaching me, they want to fuck. And so instead of teaching me, I become one of their wives. They want me to be one of their wives. I don't want to fucking do that. And so for a long time, I just stopped everything. I didn't practice anymore. But even when I was doing my shit out there in the world, I was still practicing hoodoo. I was doing protective work. And so I started petitioning, like she said, I started requesting. I started petitioning, he got to be like this. And my godfather got to be like this. I asked for a gay mambo. Y'all know how fucking rare that is to find a gay initiate? But that's what came to me. I wanted a gay man because I did not want a man that was going to mistreat me or to take advantage of my vulnerability because I'm giving it to him. Because your teacher, your mentor, you have to submit to them in a way. You have to submit. And a lot of people, they don't have no respect. So I studied under elders. A lot of people don't even have training. Huh?
Sorry.
Oh, I was like, a lot of people don't have training. I do. And I've studied under some great people. I do. A lot of people they don't even have the validation. They can't talk about godfathers and they can't talk about the spirits. They can't talk about the grandparents or what houses they come from. I can. So my knowledge is it's a little bit different. Like I actually respect my elders to the point to where my godfather, I didn't ask him what he needed. I gave him what I wanted him to have. I blessed him with money, with clothes, with whatever. And he had it. But because that's how much I honored that, experience and that knowledge, because it's hard to get it now. Because everybody just clumps every tradition together. They just mix everything together. So you got the Wiccan mixing with hoodoo. That shit is different. And so I learned the difference. Now I've studied other practices because I'm an occultist. I like to know everything. But I've had mentors. I always ask for them, and I'm very specific. They got to be like this. They got to have that. They got to be. And I wouldn't mind having another godfather. I think it's going to be hard. It took me 7 years to find him. So I think it's going to be very hard. But I like the eldership. I like that for me. You know, some people are solitary, and that's fine. But even like for my godchildren, because some of my godchildren, y'all know I'm very hard on y'all. I have an expectation because there was an expectation for me. I can't just teach about it. I have to live it, you know. And that comes with time and practice and all of that good stuff. So hoodoo is it for me. You know, that's why I love Jasmine. I love that she's so free, and I love all of that. I can't be nothing but a hoodoo. I can't do nothing but conjure. That's why when they ask me about other stuff, I'm like, baby, I can't tell you about the astrological this and how it connects to that and the rising and the fall. And I just found out that Cancer and Pisces is in my chart. Do you know how disappointing that is for me? Because I don't want no fucking water in my chart like that.
Oh my goodness.
I was so fucked up. I'm still disappointed behind that. Ooh. Both
You
of
were
them.
so disappointed.
Both of them. The Cancer and the Pisces. Fuck. I was like, is this a joke? Then I tried to change the time. God damn it, he was still there. Ain't nothing changed. Did nothing change. So I guess that's what it is. But I hope that answered your question. Unlike baby girl, you know, I actually had like teachers. I'm sure she's had teachers too, but it was people that I had to sit down. I had to sit up under, and I had to do rituals, like real rituals. Like I had to kill a chicken and you know, other shit like that. I ain't gonna go into all of that, but I actually, you know, I had to cross over. You know, they don't really do all of that now.
And they don't.
Now everybody could be what they call it, self-initiated and shit like that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, no. If I'm gonna learn it, I want to learn it the way it's supposed to be taught and shit like that. That was my whole thing. Like, as far as my mentors, like I haven't had to kill a chicken or anything to that effect, but I have had other types of tests based off the type of worker that I am. Because as a channeler, that's how you get tested. When you find out your gift, you start getting tested under your gifts. So with my dream work, like not just being able to, everybody wants to astral project. That's not even the shit you want to work with. That's fun.
Child, I got stuck. It took my daddy. I got stuck. I was on it for over an hour, and it took my daddy to give me
too much.
And I'm talking about he was shaking, and he had started crying. And all the shaking and the physical he was trying to do, it wasn't until his tear hit my face, y'all, I woke up.
It's too much.
All
it's
the
a lot.
hollering and the shaking, I would not move. But when he started crying because he couldn't wake me up, and I was screaming because I was trying to get out of there. I was like, I'm never gonna play with this shit again. I was trying to play. You know how y'all do when you first learn how to do something? I got a book. Ain't nobody, I'm just go to this book and I'm just do, baby, I don't want to astral nothing. A bitch talking about you was in my house stalking me. Girl, you got me fucked up. Ain't nobody in your motherfucking house. I said, you probably got roaches and shit. How you know? You was there. No, bitch, I wasn't there. But you telling me now you got roaches.
Yeah, no, I had to learn through all of that. Like my dream work where they would pop up. That was the first time I got tested, was being able to decipher dreams. Figuring out what my dreams meant, because a lot of people want to interpret other people's dreams, but they can't interpret their own dreams. Learning that you can't always interpret a dream the next day, and some of them you're meant to interpret immediately, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen immediately. And ranging the feelings, learning how to, I guess, pay attention to the muscle memory. What does this feel like? Does this feel like last time? Does this feel like something we've ever experienced, shit like that. So yeah, the test came differently for me, but I requested a teacher for the sake of the Hierophant card, needing a consistent, needing something where I feel stable in. Because leaving the church, like the church, I had my constants. We were there Wednesdays, we were there fucking Thursdays, Saturday, Sunday, all fucking week. And don't let there be a fucking revival, because then it really is all week and shit like that. So leaving the church, I lost my constant. Because even with meditation, I'm not going to meditate every day in the sense of sitting down and actually getting in full trance mode. I might meditate and do quick meditations because I need to gather my thoughts on something, but the actual sit down might happen maybe 3 or 4 times a month, if that. That sounds like a lot even now. It's more like 1 to twice a month at this point. So things like that, it's me now learning what do I need and able to be able to grow and step to the next level. So pay attention.
Yeah, do a petition, write it out. Describe who you want that person to be in your life. Like for real.
Yeah.
You can call anything down to you. You can call your friends down to you. You can call your man down to you. People do it because they about love and stuff, but sometimes you can call your best friend. You can create things.
I did. I called Tiffany to me.
Yeah.
I did.
Thank you.
I hope it answered your question, Miss Maggie.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Sorry to kind of ask another question. For me and the other lady in London, would either of you ever be coming to London or to the UK?
Listen, we're planning the tour right now. My team is planning a tour. I don't know if the UK will be on the list this year, but possibly, because I didn't have anything on the plan this year. I mean, I didn't know I was coming to Dallas until I was coming to Dallas. I knew I was traveling. So maybe, because I do want to go to Europe. I want to really go to Ireland. But yeah.
You want to go to Ireland?
You know. Yeah, I want to go to Ireland. I don't know what my tie is with Ireland and Scotland. I feel like I'm supposed to be there for whatever
Ireland
reason.
and Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland is fabulous. If you ever get the chance, go to Scotland.
That's all I needed to hear. I'm going to go.
Scotland is very fun.
I knew Scotland. Because Ireland, I think I just heard people talking about drinking and I was like, ooh, Ireland. But Scotland, I've seen a lot of shows and it's like, why do I feel like this place is so familiar? Because I know I ain't been there before, but maybe I have been there before. So I don't know. So I'm gonna go to Scotland.
My number one tip is bring tights. Everything you wear tights underneath. It's freezing.
Oh, well, I'm glad you said that because I really don't want to be too cold. So
tights
I remember that.
Everything. But yeah, it's freezing cold.
Bring tights. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Anything else?
Well, if there is nothing else, I thank Miss Jasmine. I thank her. I am honored that she even did this. You know, a lot of people.
I'm grateful.
A lot of people in this business, they're not nice, and they jealous and they spiteful and they want to be the most powerful. This and I don't have a desire for that. I just like to teach, and I like what I do. I love what I do, and I love who I help. So to connect with another person and her team, they just as gifted and talented. And they all had good spirits. You know, normally when it's a group of people, there's always going to be one that you're like, I don't know about that bitch. But all of them was real nice, very sweet, very genuine. And I enjoyed the experience. Yeah. Y'all know me. I don't know when I'm on tour and shit like that. I be saying I'm gonna go do something, and then I be like, I don't know. No. Because I have to fight because people think because I'm outspoken, I'm outgoing. And I'm not outgoing like that. And for those who know me, they know I'm not outgoing like that. I'll sit in the room, won't say shit. And you were like, oh, she trying to be funny. It's not that I'm trying to be funny. I have social anxiety. Really fucking bad. So I have to build myself up for stuff like that. So anyway, I love y'all. Thank y'all again.
Thank you. Bye,
and I appreciate y'all. And many blessings to y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.